सो हेलो गाइस, कैसे हो आप लोग? एक बार एनर्जी अगर आ रही है, पूरी की पूरा एंथुजियाज्म है, तो एक बार कमेंट सेक्शन में बता दो दैट यू गाइस आर हियर, सो दैट वी नो दैट यू गाइस आर लिसनिंग. यू गाइस आर नॉट लाइक जस्ट चलो ठीक है चला दिया और गायब हो गए. यू गाइस आर हियर एंड एंथुजियास्टिक टू मीट ऋषि राज जी. सो पुट अप जस्ट 1 सेकेंड. थोड़ा 1-2 मिनट लगेगा सबको सेटअप होने में, इंजन तक होने में.
Cool. Hmm. Responses are in. Should we start, Anuj?
Yeah, yes. So just taking a look at the responses. We got a lot of awesome people here. We have a lot of my old student, a lot of new
Okay.
students. Yeah, so the energy is nice, and we are
Yeah.
seeing a lot of people right now. So let's start with you, Rishi. So,
Yeah.
like we were discussing before, so the energy of, contributing, the energy of working for a goal is very important, right? So,
Yeah.
how exactly you got the enthusiasm of this, particular dimension that right now you are in Microsoft, you got the internship, and now approximately, as we discussed, that it's approximately a week for conversion. So you are
Yeah.
about to convert into a final placement. So how you got this energy of moving in this dimension?
So initially, when I started out in first year,
Yeah.
the most of the students in this country had that goal of like कि भाई बड़े company में जाना है, job लेनी है. So
Hmm.
initially, I had that motive only because I had no knowledge of what were the various fields in computer science. But
Hmm.
when I start exploring the various fields, like what are the things that are there in computer science, so
Hmm.
eventually I got interested in few of them. So I
Hmm.
started out with web development, and then I moved on to ML and deep learning and NLP. So
Yeah.
so the more you work on these things, you try interest is automatically generated.
Yeah.
So that is the thing. So once interest is generated, you don't need any guidance or motive to do anything. You just keep on
Yeah.
doing that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True. True.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the energy keeps on increasing, and the flow keep
Increasing.
on
Yes.
happening. Yeah. Yeah. So right.
Yeah.
So generally what happens is that a lot of people say that the initial roadblock that they face is that when they go for college,
Yeah.
initially the society and community is not there. So do you think that that is really a factor that will affect on the final goal, or you can do something else to overcome it?
Uh, so um, so there are two things. Like in computer science, I think computer science is a subject where a lot of resources are available online, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I agree that having a strong community can really help in like achieving greater things. But
Hmm.
for my case, like I'll take my example, I didn't have that kind of community in my college,
Okay.
but I did. So there are a lot of online resources available. So I made optimum use of all those resources and tried to learn
Yeah.
all the things on my own. So it is not necessary to have a community, but you can do it on your own as well if you have genuine interest in what you do. Yeah,
Right. So yeah, so genuine interest is very important because
yeah,
if you just think of okay ये बना लेंगे वो बना लेंगे है ना, and you like आज what happens is कि यार रोज शाम को चाय पीने गए चाय यार ये $1 billion idea ये $1 million idea, and just like throwing
yeah,
things up, it will not really lead to something. You are not really manifesting something. So finally you have to keep persistent on a thing. Okay, so that can be on in any dimension. So like it could
any
be
dimension.
yeah. So तुम्हारे कॉलेज से कुछ ऐसे बच्चे थे जिन्होंने पर्टिकुलरली कुछ स्टार्टअप वगैरह क्रिएट किया हो या फिर इस तरह के डायमेंशन में जाना शुरू किया हो?
Uh, तो मेरे कॉलेज में ज्यादा अमाउंट में नहीं, एज आई मेंशन जस्ट नाउ दैट मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल का ये रहता था कि भाई अच्छी कंपनी में प्लेसमेंट लेना है।
हम्म
वही मोटिव रहता था। बट
हम्म
वो अभी भी है बहुत लोगों का।
हम्म
सो बट द थिंग इज, कुछ लोगों का है जो जेन्युइनली इंटरेस्टेड है कि कुछ लार्जर इम्पैक्ट क्रिएट करें। तो
बिल्कुल।
लाइक यू कैन क्रिएट इम्पैक्ट विद फ्रॉम योर वर्क in two ways.
दैट इज ट्रू। या।
Either you go the startup where you create things on your own, or you get into an environment or a company which really impact a lot of customers, right? So if I was in
Absolutely.
Microsoft, so I was doing some really good work which can really serve a lot of customers. So you can do
Agree.
create impact. So if so the main motive of yours should be to create impact. So you can do it in two ways. You can do it by having your own idea and working upon it, but or you can get into an environment or company where you can contribute in creating that impact. So
That is
yeah.
true. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the one question I got for you yesterday was that as you said that you can create impact by being in a company. So people generally ask this question about what exactly you have done inside the company itself. So because generally when student in the college they generally be like okay ये कर लेते हैं वो कर लेते हैं शायद कंपनी में ये करना होगा वो करना होगा, but what exactly you do when in the internship or when in the job. So for particularly you, I think the question would be better if we put it like exactly what happened in the internship in Microsoft.
Okay.
What exactly you do? Yeah.
So I think, see, the you can get a lot of, like, you can get anything when you, like, there's no fixed thing. Like, there are a lot of domains out there in these big companies, so you can get any framework to work upon, or you can get any research work as well. So if you have that like fixed दिमाग में ये रहेगा कि भाई ये करना है और ये सारा सीख लूंगा तो internship में काम देगा, that won't work according to me. So the thing that
Okay.
really should be in your mind while interning in this, when you are beginning to intern in these companies, is to have an open mind and willingness to
True.
learn. And if you and always have that like thing ki, have that capacity or intellect to learn things quickly. That is one of the most important things in software development, that you should be able to learn things quickly, because technologies change every like month, every hour technologies change, right? So you cannot be
Yeah.
fixated upon a single framework or single thing, or single like nowadays like people say machine learning is trending, so most of the people are using doing machine learning. So things can
Yeah.
change. It is
True.
variable. So what should be constant in you is the willingness to learn things quickly,
Yeah.
to apply those things to serve the customer. So in my experience, when I like what kind of work that I did in Microsoft was, I my work was related to NLP. So I didn't have that much idea. I did study a bit in my college, but you get a lot of time to to study and to understand what is going on. And you have like awesome mentors and managers to help you out 24/7, and like you can reach out to anyone to ask your doubt. So the only thing that is needed is to the curiosity and the ability to learn anything new. So there is no one fixed tool key. You have to learn all these things, and that will help you in internship. Just
Yeah.
curiosity and willingness to learn things will help you out.
True, true, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's this guy, New Horizon. He is very enthusiastic about this question, putting up a lot in the comment section. So as I know that you also got internship and job off campus. So this question make a lot of sense asking you. So what exactly is the process that you followed so that I have listened from you, but for the general audience.
So, see, what process did I follow? So
Yeah.
mine was, when I was talking to you, Anuj, as well. So when I started out, I didn't know anything about computer science. I had economics as my extra subject in class 12. So
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about like computer science. I just knew the name of the programming languages and had no knowledge of what basic programming constructs are. So I think to get internships or placements in these big companies, what I had, like, there are three steps. First one is like, you should start with exploration, like explore things in your first year or in the beginning. because people will, when you get into college, most of the students will tell you do this, do that,
Yeah.
and you'll be confused, right?
Hmm.
So you must explore things on your own, and then
True.
the second step is to choose what interests you, what
Hmm.
really pulls you, what you really want to do, right? So
Yeah.
exploration, and then choosing your action plan and making a proper plan, right? And then the last step would be to have a proper action, like a hard work and action on that plan. So if you follow these three steps, I think you'll get anything that you want, right? So in
Yeah.
computer science,
Yeah.
what my journey was that so Microsoft conducts I got off campus internship. So it was off campus. Microsoft didn't visit our campus. So there's Microsoft conducts a all India test, coding test.
Hmm.
I had it in September, end of September, right?
Hmm.
So they were there was a coding contest which was held online. So there are three coding questions which you have to solve,
Hmm.
and after that, after 1 month, I got a mail telling me that I was selected, and there will be an interview. So I had an interview. Then I was called on site to
Hmm.
Microsoft's Hyderabad campus, and
Hmm.
then I had a bunch of interviews there. So,
Hmm.
and then finally, eventually I got selected.
Hmm.
So to get the most important thing, so there are various factors to get internship or placement in these companies.
बिल्कुल
The
ऑफ
first one
कैंपस
is,
में, हाँ. तो
yeah,
मतलब
the first,
जैसे तुमने बताया था कि पहली चीज तो जो तुमने बताई दैट इज कि मतलब जनरली एक्चुअली तुमने बोला उसको मैं थोड़ा सा पॉइंट में तोड़ रहा हूँ ताकि बच्चे उस पर फोकस कर पा रहे हो. द फर्स्ट थिंग इज टू टेक अ लुक आउट एट व्हाट एग्जैक्टली कंपनी इज पुटिंग इन पब्लिक, राइट.
yeah,
सो जैसे तुमने बताया कि दैट this test was having different name on different year, so you cannot really look up for the same name, right? So
yeah,
you
yeah.
cannot be like, okay, Microsoft will put up this name, so I will
Hmm,
just keep searching for this particular name and I will be like, okay, this will be
hmm,
done because
hmm,
I'm searching for this name, because the company can put up multiple type of contest, and
hmm.
company can, even change the name of those contests, in the different years, so you have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be updated. So
yeah. You have to
what
keep
were,
that knowledge.
yeah,
Yeah.
so what was the location where you were tracking these contests in Czech?
So you can on Microsoft career page. So there's like
Hmm.
career page of Microsoft where there are
Hmm.
various openings that you can find, right? And also you
Okay.
can follow Microsoft career page on LinkedIn. So
Okay.
if there is an announcement, so there's a news published there as well. So I got to know
Okay.
it from I got to know about the one test that was conducted by Microsoft through
Hmm.
my TNP coordinators. So
Okay.
they informed us that Microsoft is conducting this test, so we took that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if
So
you want to get updated, you can keep yourself updated on social media like LinkedIn and or Microsoft Careers page, and you'll get to know when there are openings.
yeah, so there can be, according to you, there can be, a multiple dimension to keep track on. So first is the career page.
Yeah,
Approximately we can subscribe to, especially, top 10-20 companies that you like, subscribe them. Yeah. So that is
yeah.
one of the thing कि मतलब don't be like कि यार एक दो को सब्सक्राइब कर लिया ठीक है, मैं तो सिर्फ माइक्रोसॉफ्ट और गूगल में जाएगा बाकी सब भाड़ में जाए, राइट. सो
Mm-hmm.
बट बिकॉज वी हैव टू कीप एन ओपन माइंड फॉर द टेक्नोलॉजी एंड द थिंग्स दैट यू वांट टू लर्न. तो ठीक है, तो हमने अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 10-15 को सब्सक्राइब कर लिया, राइट. उसके बाद में फिर तुमने बोला लिंक्डइन, ठीक है, लिंक्डइन हमने सब्सक्राइब कर लिया, दैट इज डन. So after that, you said that TNP coordinators. So generally what happens is that a lot of people are like कि यार TNP coordinators तो फालतू होते हैं और they don't help you. So do you really feel के उस चीज़ से हमारे को कितना इन्वॉल्व रहना चाहिए, कितने रहना चाहिए, बिकॉज I have seen कि a lot of people get a lot of good help from TNP coordinators, but a lot of people complain a lot as well. ठीक है, तो even in your college, so what is the ratio, just as you got a bit help from TNP coordinators, but do people from your college also hate TNP coordinators corresponding to different kind of issues, you know?
I don't think they no, I don't think they hate
Mhm.
in my exam, like in my case, TNP coordinators were very helpful, and they need to
Mhm.
be helped, like that is their job, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
they are really helpful, and I think the issue of like having grudges against like TNP coordinators is personal.
Mhm.
I think like you cannot satisfy every student, like needs of every
True.
student. You cannot listen to everybody, right? So some student will have some
Mhm.
problems against the TNP coordinators or the people in power. So
Mhm.
I think in my case they were really helpful, and we got to know about all the opportunities that were there, whether on campus or off campus. So on
Hmm.
time. So that was in my case. I got to know from them. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's one question from Fazir. What were the things on your resume that got the internship? So if I put my point on that is that there is no exact one thing that you should put on your resume. Okay, by ye likh diya na, ab to ho gaya, right? Am I
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
it right?
definitely.
It's
Yeah, yeah,
it's not just, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So
So I was telling you, yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
I was
So
telling you this, Anuj, that so this is a very good question. Like when it comes to resume, so I was telling you that it depends on the interviewer, right? And
hmm,
so first round would, in case of Microsoft, I'm talking, and in most
hmm,
companies as well, there's coding round. First round is the
hmm,
coding round. Or
hmm, hmm,
there's no resume shortlisting in that first. So if you qualify the coding round, then in interviews they'll check your
hmm.
resumes, right?
Yeah.
So it really depends on the interest of the interviewer, right? So if the
Hmm,
interviewer really wants to check your resume, they will check you and they will ask most of the questions from them. But
hmm,
in my case, the interviewer was more interested on the problem solving skills, right? So he asked me a lot of questions from data structures. So
hmm,
he only asked me what kind of projects initially, just in 10 minutes, like what kind of projects did you do? And his
hmm.
interest was not more on the kind of projects, but rather on how you deal with the problem that he has given to you.
Yeah,
So it really
especially, yeah.
depends. Yeah. So
Spe-
yeah, yeah.
Especially
So
in
it
case of internships, it is more like problem solving a bit more, and also it depend on the interviewer, because
yeah,
it will finally, like as we were already discussing, that it depend on the way you take the conversation, and it depend on the mood of the interviewer as well. So you cannot be like fully prepared for the interview beforehand. You have to be like comfortable with a lot of things, because you cannot be like, okay, this is the way that interview will go, कि बस ऐसे ऐसे prepare कर लो और हो गया done, right?
and yeah, that there's no
Yeah,
definite like this is what I say. It's like at this
yeah,
I'm telling you my journey. So each one of you will have their own journey. So you will have your own unique journey. So there's no fixed way of like asking things, like of doing, like if somebody asks me what is the correct way, there's no correct way. uh am I audible, Anuj? Hello?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I lost you, I think,
Yes.
in
So
between.
yeah, my connection was having issue because there was a light fluctuation, so I
Okay,
was
okay.
thrown out of the meeting for that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I was telling that there's no fixed way. So please don't, like people I have many messages in my DM. So what is the
Hmm.
correct way of doing things? So there's no correct way. So right.
Hmm.
So explore things. That is the most important thing, and find your interest and
Hmm.
work upon that, and work so hard that people cannot ignore you. Right. You have such immense talent in that particular thing that people
Hmm.
cannot ignore you. No big company can ignore you. You have such immense talent in that. So there's no correct things to put in your resume, or or look up for a particular coding platform. You do explore your there's computer science is a very large field. Explore various things, choose your interest, work upon it. You'll get whatever you want to do. Like you'll get eventually you'll get success. This is what I like, the real
Yeah.
thing.
So there's one question from Ayush. Is competitive coding enough to crack this? The interview, is competitive coding enough? So as we have been In the chat we were talking about that importance of soft skill, because if even if you are good with competitive programming, but if you cannot really convey your solution, what
Yeah,
good is
yeah.
that, right? Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. So this is a very good question, Ayush. Like competitive coding is not enough, but it is really helpful. I'll agree
Yeah.
with that. Like, it is helpful
Yeah.
because the first round of every, like, if you really want to crack interviews of these companies, big companies, so the first round of every company is the coding round, right? And
Hmm.
you have to solve a particular number of questions within a given time frame. So
Hmm.
competitive coding is the same thing. You have to like,
Hmm.
if you are giving short contests, so you have a couple of questions which you have to solve in a given time frame. So it really helps you to crack those coding rounds. So and to apply the logic and to think logically. So competitive coding basically helps you to enhance your problem solving skills. So it will really help you to build good logic given a problem. So it really helps, but it is not enough. So as Anuj was telling that you can be a very good coder, but if you don't have the proper communication skill to convey what your code is and why you took that approach, it is not going to help. So you
Yeah.
clear the coding rounds. So
Hmm.
you're a very good competitive coder. You clear the coding rounds, right? But
Hmm.
eventually in the interviewer asks you coding questions, and you wrote the code. Fine, you did all the calculations in your mind, but you were not able to explain properly to the interviewer why you took that approach or why you took that particular data structure, or you cannot and you are mumbling in between. So
Hmm.
even if you're a very good coder, that person won't select you. So also when you intern in Microsoft or in any company, or when you become a full-time employee in these companies, you have to work in a team. This is not a competitive coding is not a teamwork thing, right? So you have to work in a team. So interpersonal skills, communication skills, knowing why are you doing and able to explain it to the other person is also as important as having a good problem solving skill within a given time frame. So it is helpful, but it is not enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have one question. From where did you learn DSLGO concepts?
So
This is very common question. I know that there is no perfect answer for this, but if we particularly target your preparation, how did it go?
So I started out with so first I started out with the theory portion of what were the different
Hmm.
data structures. Then I like
Hmm.
you understand the theory. This was my approach. So I understood the
Hmm.
theory of what the various data structures were, and then I
Yeah.
started practicing on each of them. Right. So
Yeah.
what there is a very popular NPTEL video series by Naveen Garg. It's by IIT
Hmm.
Delhi. He's still a professor of IIT Delhi.
Yes,
So
that is a very awesome series. I
yeah,
even
yeah,
saw that 5 years back. 5 to 6 years back, and I think that there is no better series even up till
yeah,
this point. Yeah.
yeah. That
Yeah.
is the best series, and it is so the videos are so old, and still it is
Hmm.
relevant till now. Like
Yeah.
I've watched
Yeah.
all the videos of Naveen Garg, and he's a very good teacher. So for
Hmm.
theory, I watched all his videos. Then I
Hmm.
watched MIT's Introduction to Algorithms. There's
Hmm.
a lecture series by MIT.
Hmm.
For theory, and for practicing, you can pick any one coding platform like HackerEarth
Hmm.
or anyone, and they are or you can choose Geeks for Geeks is also good. So anyone you can
Hmm.
choose, and you can start practicing and that will enhance your whatever you have learned in theory. So this was my approach for
Yeah.
studying. You can pick any book also if you want, if you are a book guy person, so you can go with books also. So like many students are not comfortable with videos, so if you want to
Hmm.
have like, you can go with a book also. There are many good books available out there.
Yeah. So, what is your response on Narasimha Karamunchi? Have you tried that?
No, I haven't. I'm not a book person, so when I enter college, I like stop studying books. So
कि
I'm a
बुक
video
हो गई,
person.
डन करो, साइड करो, इनको हो गया.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was I watch videos mostly and learn
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
More videos
That is
and
good also.
practice. Yeah. So
Yeah, that is
if
yeah,
you have a doubt, this taco, the various platforms to help you out there. So
yeah.
yeah. So I was not a book person, so I didn't study. But I have heard that is a very good book. So you can, if you're a book guy person, then you can study that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, there's one question that for how many months you had your internship, and when you applied for it, which contest you are talking about of Microsoft off campus. So, even Rishi have told us before that the test do not remain same every year. So you have to be on lookout that what is the name
Yeah,
of
you
the
have to be
test
on
this year.
lookout. Yeah,
Yeah.
constant lookout. Yeah. So if
Yeah.
you're like be active on LinkedIn or in Microsoft Careers page, you'll get to know. You'll get to know
Yeah.
eventually that there's an and mostly it happens like in my case, like in it happened in like by August, end of August or September beginning, you'll get the notification of the test of
Hmm.
campus test.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
in my case, it was named one test,
Hmm.
and I had 2 months. Like I interned in Microsoft for 2 months,
Hmm.
and that was like my internship completed on 3rd of July. Yeah.
Okay, so generally with the other interns, if you communicated, so what is the general time frame? So do Microsoft also provide internship for 6 months, or generally
Yeah.
internship is of 2 months?
No, no. There are a lot of domains. Like there are a lot of interns working in Microsoft.
Hmm.
Like they are research interns. They are data scientist intern. There's software
Hmm.
engineering interns. So there's
Hmm.
so in Microsoft it is not fixed to software engineering. If you're interested in data science, there's data science intern as well. You can
Okay.
apply for that as well.
Hmm.
There are research interns as well in
Hmm.
Microsoft Research. So
Hmm.
that is one thing, and yeah. So
In
and
terms of time frame, do they have 6 months internship?
yes, they have 6 month internship. They have 3 months internship. They have 2 months internship. Yeah,
So whatever
they have.
time you have, you can try there. Okay.
Yeah,
So
generally in
do
most of the Indian
yeah,
colleges, we have summer vacations for 2 months. So
yeah,
like my college didn't allow for 6 months internship. So many colleges
yeah,
allow for 6 months internship as well. So you
yeah.
as per your college guidelines, you can apply for the duration.
Okay, so
Yeah,
what do company prefer? So like you would have preferred a 6 month internship if your college have allowed, right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Because
No, there's no
the
preference. Yeah,
yeah, like you, if you have better exposure of company, if the company have better exposure of you, then there is kind of a better chance of getting the conversion because
conversion. Yeah.
maybe it it there may be a chance that you do not prove yourself in 2 months, but if you work hard enough, then there is kind of a better chance if you have more time to communicate, and there is more time to learn as well. Even if you do not convert into a package, in a PPO, you have more time to learn from the company if you have 6 month internship, right?
Yeah, that is the case. But I think the kind of projects that you get is
Hmm.
also taken into consider, like they consider the time
Yeah,
frame as well, right? So
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
think time is an issue. Like I didn't feel that time is an issue while interning, right? You'll get
Hmm. Hmm.
ample time to learn things because there
Hmm.
are like you can get a new framework to learn which you have never heard of. So you'll get
Hmm.
ample time to learn as well and to implement as well. So there's
Yeah.
no preference of the company, and as well
Hmm.
as your preference should not be on time frame, rather your preference should be on getting an internship. That is most important.
That
Yeah,
is very important. Otherwise,
yeah.
yeah, true, true, true. Yeah. So there's this question. What is the role of learning other skills than just coding, like web development, application development? So, if I start to put a few points on it, so what I will say that because after you join the company, you have to be finally become a developer, and you have to be flexible and learning. So, if you say that you should totally ignore web development and app development and totally go for competitive and these things, so generally what happens is that if you have enough time to learn development and DSL go both, then it good to maintain that balance, because otherwise you will be like disbalanced to one side of the ring, and that is, I will suggest, never a good option to be only on the one side of the platter, because you cannot really teach the thing. If you have if you work on the project, you really understand why exactly I'm learning data structures and algorithms. Otherwise, I've seen that it is a bit difficult for everyone to remain that kind of persistent effort toward data structures algorithm. After some time everybody is like कि यार ठीक है ऑप्टिमाइज करना है मगर क्यों, है ना, क्यों
Yeah.
करूँ मैं ऑप्टिमाइज, है ना. तो फॉर दैट पार्ट डेवलपमेंट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू एटलीस्ट एड सम स्पाइस, के बट के ठीक है, आई एम क्रिएटिंग दिस एप्लीकेशन and I'm scrolling, so it is getting stuck. Why it is getting stuck? Because I haven't implemented data structures properly. My traversal is slow. Okay, so my traversal is slow. So which one should I use? Should I use array
Yeah.
list? Should I use linked list? Okay, so
Yeah.
in that particular kind of cases, development can play a very important role, and especially that always depend on के अभी तुम कौन से phase में हो. Now, if you are in approximately end of third year, fourth year is beginning, and in 2 months there is placement. So now you do not have time for development and computer programming both. ठीक है, अब तो बेटा DSL को सीख और खींच, ठीक है ना. But if you are
Yeah.
starting in the first year, yeah, parallel use case of development can really enhance the way you learn things, and especially after you join the company. Generally there is one thing that people say, that about the same company someone will say that there is very bad work life balance, and some people will say that there is very good work life balance. So why
Yeah.
that kind of situation happen is that company तो काम डाल दिया, and now
Mm.
if you do not know anything about development, you will like कि यार ये तो दिक्कत है, ठीक है ना. And now you have to learn and do the thing with the same people जिनको वो चीज़ पहले से आती है डेवलपमेंट वाली. तो
Yeah.
उस टाइम पे वो चीज़ काफ़ी इशू क्रिएट कर सकती है. So you can do competitive, you can put preference on competitive, you can put preference on development, but you cannot just do one thing. ठीक है, स्पेशली जैसे मैंने अभी डेवलपमेंट का सपोर्ट किया, तो उस केस में आई शुड पुट वन मोर पॉइंट वेयर आई टेल यू दैट कि खाली डेवलपमेंट में क्या इशू है. ठीक है, इफ यू डू जस्ट डेवलपमेंट, यू स्किप whole basic concept of DS and algo and competitive. So what you're trying to do is you are saying that I'm doing development flawlessly, but you are not. ठीक है ना, क्योंकि वहां पे भी वो दूसरा इशू आ गया ना. बिकॉज वेन यू डू द डेवलपमेंट, यू माइट ट्राई टू kind of mug up the things that you want to create, but if you are not actually comfortable with the algorithms, how do you really understand the flow of code? If you're not comfortable with how exactly you implement an algorithm or you create an algorithm, you do not really understand that if you are sorting this array, okay, by the inbuilt library, which exactly sorting algorithm is occurring, and is it really helpful for me or not, right? So which internal collection framework or which internal thing to use in the development. You might say that
Mm.
development में सब कुछ बना बनाया मिल गया, मगर
Mm.
अब यूज कौन सा करूं, जब तक वो तुम्हारे को आइडिया नहीं. यू आर लाइक blindfoldedly just trying some things and randomly mugging up things, so that will not really help you for anything, right?
Yeah.
तो
Yeah. I
ऋषि
completely
तुम्हारा
agree
कहना
with.
चाहता हूँ. हाँ, yeah.
Yeah, I
So
completely agree with you. If you have time, if as you were saying that initially when you start out, you start exploring things, right? So initially you
hmm,
don't have the limitation of time. So
hmm,
try
hmm, hmm,
everything, right? So
hmm,
and when you wake up and you find that you're in third year, you're just about to end your third year, and then
hmm,
you're starting app development, and you want to crack the code, like interviews of these companies also, then there's a limitation of time. So it all
hmm,
depends. So always start when you start early, explore
hmm,
the various things, find your interest, and
hmm,
do what needs to be done as well. If you fix your goal, what is your goal and what you want to do after graduating, and
hmm,
what are the things necessary for that, right? So
hmm,
focus on those things as well, find your interest as well, mix those things up, and just
hmm,
hard work and interest are two very important things, and you can get
hmm.
anything you want, right? So there's
Right.
like web development, app development also have their own perks. So if you have
Hmm.
time, try out everything, I would
Yeah.
say, because there are a
And
lot of
maintain the
interesting
balance. Yeah.
and maintain the balance. There are a lot of interesting things in computer science.
Yeah.
Try out everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's one question. Does projects like we are doing ML bootcamp enough for showcasing, or some other projects? Please mention some. So what I will say that generally the projects that we do in ML bootcamp, probably Rishi do not know about the ML bootcamp we are doing, or do you know?
Yeah. I have heard about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So, if we say that ML bootcamp projects, so that we are doing in the session are the things which are in trend. But if you just showcase the trending thing on your resume, it is more like कि ठीक है कहीं से कोड उठाया और इस बंदे ने चिपका दिया. राइट? इफ यू से दैट कि
completely.
मैंने फेस डिटेक्शन फेस रिकॉग्निशन किया है, सो व्हाई समवन शुड रियली थिंक दैट वो तुमने किया है, right? If you are doing a project, it is important to do a project which have novelty. Okay, uh, you can understand things that you are doing in the ML bootcamp, but the project that you can put in resume is not ML bootcamp project. That is the project that you have done, that you have created, that you have novelty about. Okay, so understand things, but finally create things. Create something of your own, and then try to put that on your resume. Putting you have done ML bootcamp is fine, but what exactly it will create is it will just create the question, and finally those questions will be the deciding factor if you have really learned something or not. When you put something on your resume, nobody asks for the real certificate of it कि अच्छा तुमने ये चीज करी है, इसका सर्टिफिकेट निकालो, ठीक है? What exactly they check by is by putting up the questions. So if you are if you have done the boot camp or whatever, and you cannot really respond to the questions, then it doesn't matter what you have done. तुमने Udemy, Udacity, MIT कहीं से कुछ भी किया हो, if you cannot really respond to the questions, then you are done. Make sense, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I like
Mm-hmm.
for projects like I would say participate in hackathons. Like I have
Yeah.
participated in a few hackathons, and it really helps you to like know like it's a like first of all you work in groups, which is a
Mm-hmm.
like very good thing. Start like having the habit of working in groups. So
Mm-hmm.
participate in like hackathons. Like there are a lot of hackathons happening by various
Mm-hmm.
companies also. So, so you like create amazing products, and you also see products created by other participants, your fellow participants, what amazing
Mm-hmm.
products and ideas they have. So you learn a lot
Yeah.
of things. So always like have some interesting projects. Like as Anuj was saying, don't have the
Rishi,
traditional projects.
Rishi. Yeah, can you
Yeah.
please continue for this answer? I will be back in a minute. Okay, so you please
Okay.
continue with the answer. I will be back in a minute.
Okay. So Ayush, I was saying like for projects, as Anuj was saying, don't have that conventional projects. Have some interesting ideas. Have some interesting projects. Participate in hackathons. That would like really help you out in creating like if you tell those mention those projects to your interviewer, it will really create a good impact. That this person really has some great ideas and that person is really working upon those ideas. So don't have some like conventional projects which are out there. So as Anuj was saying that people will think interviewer will think that you have just copy pasted it. So have some interesting projects in your resume if you want to work.
Yeah, that is very important. Actually, I didn't realize that my laptop battery is dying out, and I was on
Yeah.
1%. So I was like, oh goodness. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, सर आपके प्रोजेक्ट्स के बारे में बताइए, आपने कैसे कैसे प्रोजेक्ट बनाए हैं? मतलब दिस इज आई विल से दैट it is a very traditional question. The first response that I have for this thing is that it doesn't really matter that सामने वाले ने कौन से और क्या प्रोजेक्ट बनाए हैं. Generally this question arise from the curiosity that कि अगर मैं ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट बनाऊं तो क्या मेरा माइक्रोसॉफ्ट में हो जाएगा? Okay, so
Exactly. That is the point.
yeah, yeah,
So
but
yeah,
I will
very
not say
true.
that. Yeah, 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 yeah. So I will
Yeah,
not say.
that is
Yeah,
yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
तुम बोलो यार बीच में कट हो गया. हाँ.
No, I like I completely agree with you, Anuj. Like people think that if I'll do the same kind of projects, then I'll
Mm-hmm.
get into these companies. So that is not the case, Jeet. Have your own unique projects. Create something like create try to have some innovative ideas. Work with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Work on those projects. You have a lot of time in your college. Come on, and you can
Yeah.
work on those projects and have it on your resume, right? Participate in
Mm-hmm.
hackathons. That will help you. Not knowing what I created, create your own thing, right? So
Yeah.
you have learned a new technology. Suppose you have learned web development. What
Mm-hmm.
interesting things? How can you make impact using this technology that you have learned, right? So in this way, you enhance your skills also in that technology, as well as you are able to create impact as well. So don't
Correct.
try to have conventional projects in your resume. I don't think that creates a lot of impact on the interviewer. Try to have
Mm-hmm.
good projects, which really so that can be done using hackathons, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
It can really help you
And
improve. developments.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and additionally, open source is a very good way for it as well,
yeah,
because if
definitely.
you create project but you be like, okay, this is my code, I can run it somewhere if you want, but you do not have a proper way of presenting that it is really your code. You cannot really put it anywhere. If you want to
Yeah,
create a website or put your contribution at some places, you cannot really put your just private contributions there. If you have created something in the open source, then you have proper commits in some meaningful repositories, because if you have committed your code in Linux, or you have committed your code in VLC or in Blender, or
yeah,
some meaningful projects, the first thing you understand is that how exactly work happen in a company, how exactly you understand a big source code, and these kind of platform really help you in creating the aura that you want to create in terms of your interview, because now they understand that you are a team player because you have worked with a big team in open source. That is a bit good with the college friend, but when you work in open source, it is very different realm, because you are interacting with people that you didn't knew before, right?
yeah,
So that part is very important. If you're contributing, if you're making project, start with your personal project, pet projects, and hackathons, but kind of move toward open source, because open source can really create that kind of aura, and events like Google Summer of Code, Outreachy, RGSOC, and these kind of event even enhance those kind of values in you. I will not say that GSOC is ever about exactly the tag of GSOC. That is just the garnishing so that you get attracted to it, but the value it is providing is open source totally. Yeah, so that is the
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
but
completely.
yeah, questions will keep on coming, but as we got limited time, so we will jump toward our next section. So that is you know uh, what do you code for? Okay, so what this round is that I will tell that I code for something, and then we code for cause. Okay, because eventually we have to code for a reason, and that is the cause that we wish to do. So the my part, first I will say, then it is your turn, Rishi. Okay, uh, so I code for education, we code for cause. So, what is your slogan for that, Rishi?
Uh, I would say I code for creating impact. Like
And yeah.
I'm very fortunate to be part of Microsoft, because I was able to do projects which could really create impact. My work is
Hmm.
there, which customers and people are using. So that
Hmm.
really gives you a sense of happiness. So if you create something and people are using it, it really,
Hmm.
like, there's a like joy inside your heart. Like, yeah, people are using your product. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So your slogan now is that uh, I code for
I,
creating impact. We code for
yeah,
cause. Yes. I want to listen it from you. Yay.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
So,
So
so
I
I
like
want to
I
listen it. Yeah. So
yeah
I want to
you
listen this whole slogan from you. I code for creating impact. We code for cause.
uh, I code for creating impact, and we code for cause. Yeah.
Yay! Yes. So,
Yes.
okay, yeah. So, awesome, awesome. So, we have a lot of audience still, but the thing is that we are kind of out of time now. So, guys, what you guys can do is that you can put your questions in the comment section. And Rishi, sir, can you please take a note on this, that if there is some question in the comment section that are pointing toward you, can you help them with that?
Yeah,
Not right now, not
definitely.
not right now. Yeah,
Okay.
after the video, there right now there are
Okay.
some questions, but we cannot cater them. So after the session, there will be some questions in the comment section of this video. There might come. I will point to you in case that if you miss them, but if you get some time, you can take note there that there can be some questions. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, you know, uh, Karthik Krishna Kumar is saying one last question. Okay, so as an MS intern, how you feel about freelance projects?
Like if you really
These
have a
are two two separate tangents. How
yeah,
exactly from
yeah,
this to
exactly.
that? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So I don't like, if you really have interest in that, go for it. Like, no, nobody is
yeah,
stopping you, right? So I didn't have
Mhm.
an interest. So I cannot comment more on freelancing because I didn't have an experience
Yeah.
in that. But
Yeah.
if you really want to do about that thing, this is what I have been saying from the beginning itself. If you have interest, do it
Hmm.
and work
Hmm.
hard in it. People cannot ignore you then. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, in addition to that, I will add LinkedIn profile of Rishi in the description box. So if you feel like pinging him, you can ping him
Yeah,
for
yeah.
your questions.
You
Yeah,
all can reach
yeah,
out to me if you have any doubts. I'll be more than happy
yeah.
to help you out. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So I will add in the description, and you guys can be like, ऋषि सर ये बताओ, ऋषि सर बताओ सर ये चीज जाननी है हमारे लिए, ठीक है?
Yes.
Okay, okay, cool. So that's it for today, guys. Keep on listening to the channel, and you will find a lot of interesting items. And keep on pinging Rishi sir for your questions. Generally the trend of the question that you wish to ping is just take a note that you want to really know something. You just don't be like something is part of the session itself, and you are like asking the same question with you know with the hope of getting same or different response. So first, watch the session, understand what has exactly happened, discussion here, and on the base of that, you can put your questions, and Discord, LinkedIn, anything will do. Yes, huh. So you can also ask questions on Discord. So if there is some question that need attention of Rishi, I will point him on Discord that he can ask, he can respond to those questions. That is not a problem at all. You can ask on Discord if you do not want to ping him personally, because in that case, even different people with different opinions can also respond to the same question. And because sometimes personal messages, if it is just like hi, there is one common problem that a lot of people pinging personally do is that they just message hi and they just leave it, and they wait for the hi back, and then they continue the
Yeah.
communication. That is not good. If you put
Yeah.
hi, then also ask your question. Otherwise, be like
Yeah.
hi, hello, how are you, sir? I'm good, how are you? ठीक है, तो that will create a lens like क्या यार, क्यों ठीक है, ऐसा मत कर, ठीक है? If you have a question, just ask your question, and that is good. Okay.
Yeah.
Good, cool.
So
Okay,
thank you, Anuj.
so
Like, lastly, I would like thank you for having me. And
and
if
thank you
you
for
guys,
being here. Yeah, yeah.
yes, yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So you were saying something. If you guys have any
Yeah, I've
questions,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
I'll just have that last words. Like, but just as I was like, Anuj was also like most of the questions were what I have done, what were the projects, or what educational materials did I like use to get internship. I'll just say I'll repeat the same thing. Just explore things. I told you the resources that I used. You can use those as well if you want. Try out those as
Hmm.
well, and also always have the curiosity and the interest in whatever you do. That is the most important thing. Otherwise, it's like in long run, it will be like a cage to you. So always generate interest and curiosity in whatever thing you do. Work hard and eventually get success. Yeah.
Yay! Yes.
Yeah.
So nice motivating words, and audience will surely understand these things, and we will have maybe some more session in the future, like when you get the job and you have some stories to tell us. We will keep another session with those awesome stories. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Definitely.
Okay.
Anuj.
Definitely. Yeah. So let's say bye to everybody. Bye, everybody.
All
Show
right.
some enthusiasm in the comment section so that we understand that how exactly you really like the session, and then bye.